Hi, my name is Larry Galloway, and I'm here today to greet you first in the Master's name of Jesus Christ, Yahshua the Messiah, praying that all is well with you and your family, hoping that you've really been enjoying this month of December, the cold weather, all the football games, everything that's going on, and everything in that aspect. Of course, I'm looking at the college playoff picture and some crazy stuff going on. Even though I like Alabama, Roll Tide Roll, hope that you get it together, win the whole championship. North Carolina's not in it, so I root for Alabama as usual. I don't think you should have been there. I think Notre Dame should have made it in, but I'm not here to talk about the college playoffs today. I'm here to celebrate Black women. I missed out on the first to get out here and ready to talk about what I wanted to talk about, because December the 1st, 1955, a great thing happened. Okay, but before Rosa Parks, there was others. And I wanted my niece, she's a genius, she's smart, I love her to death. She told me not to forget to mention those that was before Rosa Parks. So I want to talk about Claudine Colville first. The 1955, March the 2nd, she was 15 years old. She was the first one that was in Montgomery, Alabama, that decided that she was not going to give her seat. And the civil rights leaders didn't want to use her because she was first she was 15 and poor. They say she was dark skinned, which that was something crazy in itself. Dark skin has nothing to do with it. And she was pregnant. So I guess if you put it all together, they were saying she was a young child, pregnant, not married, from a poor neighborhood, dark skin. So when people looked at it, the white people, the people that had the power then looked at it, they would be like, well, look at her, and they was kind of discredit her or discredit the movement. And then 9 months after that, Rosa Parks came. But even before that, there was another woman. Her name was Irene Morgan, and she had just had a miscarriage and lost her baby and stuff, and she was getting on a bus to go to another place on the interstate, and they wanted her to get up and give her seat, even though she was sitting in the area that she's supposed to have been sitting in. But you know how it is when buses get crowded and stuff, and the underprivileged and the power of the bees try to come together and say, hey, you're underprivileged, you got to get up, you got to move, you got to let someone else sit down. And she said, you know what? It was 1944. She said, I'm not getting up, I'm not giving up my seat. She was sitting beside another woman that was sitting there holding up an infant. They wanted her to get up and give her seat also. And this woman said, no, I'm not doing it. We had enough. I'm tired of it. It was 1944. Everything went to court. Supreme Court ruled that it was unjust. So they desegregated everything for the interstate, but they didn't do it for the states. So they desegregated it for the interstate in 1946. And then there was this other lady, her name was Pauline Murray, 1944. She was from Durham, North Carolina. She was a minister. She was a civil rights fighter, a leader, and she got sick and tired of the same crap too. That was back in 1944. She got sick 1940. She got sick and tired of it, and she said, "I'm not giving up my seat for these people either." We all got a seat at the table, and these women was courageous. It seemed like a lot of stuff started with our Black African American queens, and it took one person to make a difference, one statement, one thing, say, I am not going to do this because I deserve to be at this seat. And we need to think about that. Even today, there's some issues that we're not going to do because we deserve to be at the table. We deserve to have a seat at the table. And if we can't have a seat at the table, we'll make our own table, and we will bankrupt your table. So speaking of bankrupting your table, let's talk about Rosa Parks. December 1st, 1955. That's 70 years ago, Montgomery, Alabama. Rosa Parks, 9 months after Claudine, 9 months after that, she said, I'm not giving up my seat. And she said that she had Emmett Till on her mind and some of the other people that went through some kind of horrendous crime that back then, I guess it was deemed legal. That's why it blows my mind today when they holler, just follow the law, just follow the law. But just follow the law as long as it don't affect the people that I'm supporting. Like President Trump, just follow the law. Hanston, just follow the law. Whoever, just follow the law. You don't tell them that. But anyway, it was law back then that we had to get up, give up our seats and stuff. Rosa Parks was thinking about Emmett Till and a lot of other crimes that had happened to people of color. And she said she was just tired and she wasn't giving it up. She wasn't tired from standing, but she was tired from having to move. See, and then this boycott turned into it's supposed to be a one-day boycott that no African American, no blacks was gonna ride these buses, and unless they gave us some respect. All we wanted was respect. We wanted to be able to pay our money, go to our seat, and sit down. Not pay our money, get off of the bus, and have to walk around to the back of the bus and then get back on. Where many of towns, the same bus driver that she came in conflict with drove off and left people. You pay your money, they drive off and leave you because you're black. But it was all right because that was the law back then, so they couldn't do nothing about it. They could do whatever they wanted to do. Couldn't do nothing about it. So that day she was like, I'm tired, I'm not getting up, I'm not giving up my seat. They took her to jail. And from that day, we was just wanted respect. We just wanted the law to be followed. Just wanted to pay the money, get on the bus and have respect. And they act like it was the worst thing in the world. We can't give y'all no respect. We can't let y'all be treated fair. So what happened is that turned it from a one-day boycott to 381 days. We're going to boycott that crap out of that. We're going to bankrupt the system. So the only reason, let me holler back at you. The only reason I'm going to holler at you a little bit louder because y'all don't hear what I'm saying. The only reason they really desegregated the buses in Montgomery, Alabama is because of economics. Because one person took a stand, and this one person, she was a middle-class person. Rosa Parks, I'm talking about her, she was a middle-class. Y'all see her on my shirt. And she was a seamstress. She used to sew people's stuff, but she was also very active in being an actress. You know, she was keeping eyes on cases and going out helping do different things. They don't tell you that part about her. But one person made a difference, leading up from, you know, steps that other people had made. One person, one woman decided to take a stand by sitting, saying, I'm not going to give up, I'm not going to give up my seat. And 381 days later, that same bus driver that had her arrested, the same bus driver that she had a conflict with before, the same bus driver that used to drive off and leave people, they put him on the bus to go pick the Freedom Riders up and take them to their spot. Ain't that something? All I'm trying to say is that one person can make a difference. Miss Rosa Parks, we thank you, and we thank all the women, black women, the beautiful black queens that decided we're going to take a stand. We thank people like Jasmine Crockett. We're going to take a stand. We thank y'all today. And all I got to say about that, I just had a thought, that kind of puzzled me. Where was all the men at? And that they waited until after that, and some of the men did get involved, but they waited until after the initial action before they got involved. So, all right, I guess that's fine. As long as we get involved, don't sit on the corner and not support our beautiful black queens when they're doing the right thing, or talk bad about them for doing the right thing. I can imagine some other fools that was really saying, well, she ain't got no, who she thinks she is? She should have got up. She ain't got no business sitting there. Who she thinks she is? You know, stuff like that. Because we do the same thing today sometimes. When we see people that's doing what they're supposed to be doing what's right, coming against them. But I ain't stopped here to talk trash about people today. I just wanted to thank Miss Rosa Parks, salute Miss Rosa Parks and all those that came before her. And I want to say to y'all, God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And we cannot go back. We cannot let President Donald Trump seem like he's trying to erase some of our rights and some of our history. We can't let that happen. We need to take a stand. We cannot sit down and be silent. And we don't care who get mad at us, who say we're divisive. Some people used to tell me I was divisive because I spoke truth about black history and stuff and about slavery and stuff. They don't want to hear that. I even had a female tell me, look here, I got a black granddaughter. I guess you hate her too, because I ain't never said I hated nobody. She was a white lady, and I asked her, I'm like, how in the world, because you got a black granddaughter, you can't say that you went through what a black person went through. And you're not going to go through what your black granddaughter going through right now and what's going to go through in the future. You don't know. Don't sit here and tell me just because you have a biracial granddaughter that you know, because you don't. You don't have to walk in her shoes, and you don't have to walk in the mother or father's shoes, whoever is the brother or sister. You don't have to walk in their shoes. All you got to do is show up, show your face, and that's it. Hey, I ain't here to say no racial stuff. I'm just here to speak facts. I'm just here to speak truth. Yes, I speak broken English sometimes, so if you don't understand me, go to the bottom of that comment section and put, hey, Top Cat, slow down just a little bit. Tell us what we need to know. Tell us what we need. Give us that history lesson. Let us go look it up, because I need for y'all to look stuff up. I need for y'all to get active, get involved. Don't let the generation change. We're here today to keep the generation tomorrow and help them to advance. We don't want them to be in the same predicament that our forefather was. We don't want them to be in the same predicament that we're in. We want our next generation to be better, and the generation after that to be better than that. So we need to keep building on it. All of us need to come together anyway. We need to come together as one. We're the United States of America. We are one. We should come together, whether we black, white, or other, come together and build on it. We need to have peace. We need to have love, and we need to give everybody the opportunity to strive in life. Everybody need to have that opportunity. You can't look at me because I'm a black man and say you can't sit here, or because I'm a black man and say you got to sit over there, or because I'm a black man and say you can't do this. Just because you've never been a president of the United States, you can't be it. You can't do that. That's no longer, that's void. Slavery days is over. This is done with. We can do whatever we want to do, whatever we put our mind to. We need to come together and do it. Okay, I just want y'all to honor Rosa Parks and all the ones that came. Look here, y'all have a blessed day. Remember, Jesus Christ is Lord of all, not Lord at all.